Tony Hunthausen here. Just wanted to give you a quick overview of the 9 ways to avoid foreclosure. The first one would be a reinstatement of a loan. So if you're behind on the loan and you reinstate it and bring it up to date, that's one way. You've got to pay fees, penalties, the whole thing. Most people who are behind, that's difficult to do. Then we have forbearance, and that's a program you work out with a bank to reduce your payments a little while until you can catch up, but you typically have to end up paying everything, including the penalties and whatnot. Then we have to refinance, and that's, you got to have equity in your home, and you got to have good income and good credit, and you can refinance and replace the loan with a new one. Then the loan modification is one now that has been popular since we have a lot of distressed properties where they're going to not worry too much about your credit. They just want to make sure you have the income, the ability to handle however they modify the loan. And unfortunately, it was only about 30% of the modifications applied for have been getting done, and about 50 to 60% of those have been defaulting later within 6 months. So it hasn't worked out too well, but it's a possibility, and it's something to look into if it's a home you really want to stay in and you have the ability to qualify to do a modification. You could sell the property and pay off the loan. Now the problem with that is you have to have equity in the property, and then you have to be able to sell it. So if you don't have equity, that's not a possibility. If you do, then it's a possibility. Then you could rent the property, but if you rent the property, you have to go live somewhere else, and the people who rent it are going to have to be able to pay the whole mortgage, or to pay enough of it to where you can afford to go live somewhere else. And then you do have to maintain it, still have to pay the taxes, everything else. But it's a possibility. It's one of the options. You could do a short sale, and for many people who are in a distressed situation with none of the other options available, it is the best option for them, and that's something that we can explain why. If you're in that situation, give us a call. We'll give you more information on that, but it avoids most of the things that happen to you when you get foreclosed on. Now, a deed in lieu of a foreclosure is just kind of handing over your deed to the bank, but it basically goes on your credit report as a foreclosure, and you still have the same problems as far as the bank being able to possibly come after you for a judgment later, the whole thing. So it's not always the best option. And the last one is bankruptcy. Bankruptcy is something that will avoid it for a while, but it won't avoid it forever. It just puts it off for a little while. And so those are kind of the options to avoid it. We can talk to you about it in more detail. Give us a call if you are in a situation where you might need a little bit of help or a little bit of advice. We're happy to talk and just help you figure out what your best option is. Thank you.